Hello everyone, this is Sierra Games Scott, and I am back. Probably in your time, and by your time I of course mean YouTube time. You've only seen me away for a week. In fact, it's probably been a month, if not more, since I've recorded a video. I just uploaded what I did have somewhat slowly. Don't want to take up too much of the video of housekeeping items, just wanted to let you know that as I mentioned in my little bulletin, I did just move, so that took a while, and that took over some of my time. Also, I got a new job, so that's good. I'm actually starting it on Monday. Hopefully, I mean, it's probably going to be a job that requires a lot of commitment and work, but I think it's pretty much going to be a 9-to-5 job, so hopefully it won't leave me too exhausted or require so much additional time finishing up projects at night or on weekends or things like that, that it would be prohibitive in getting this game completed. Also, as you've noticed, we've already scratched the surface of Quest for Glory 4, and we're at, what, 7, 8 videos now? I've lost count. I think we're at 8 videos, there's plenty more to go, so this will definitely take us. I was thinking maybe wrapping up in July, depending how quickly we go and how quickly I upload the videos. It could be into later summer, even into the fall, because it's just a very long game and very dialogue intense. If you played it straight through without talking to anyone, it probably wouldn't take as long. I think when Late Blade and Her Crabbiness did the Paladin quest, it took them about 90-something videos. I don't think ours might be about half that because of the extended time I'm able to put into this. But or goodbye, young man. May the fireplace be warm and the drink cold at your journey's end. But that we will we're not gonna sneak around anymore. So let's pull that speed down. But it could be roughly half, which I guess would be about 45 videos. However, because I might not move as expeditiously, because there might be just some different things that come up, especially with the Thieves quests. It may be a little bit, it may not be quite at half. It could be around 50 videos or so. I'm anticipating about that. And at this rate, it would take, if I'm only doing a video a week, which I do not plan to continue that trend, it would definitely take us significant time to get through. In any event, I might talk about some of the other updates outside of the LP itself as we go through the game, but I definitely don't want to bore you with that. And let's just explore Mordavia. I guess what we're doing right now is I promised you at the end of the last video I was going to spend more time exploring, actually getting out of the town. We didn't get too far because Boris over there. Whoa, what's that? Can I click on him? The hungry hunting hawk alertly searches for signs of game not already claimed by the forest monsters. As I recall, there's not much you could do with that guy. But I don't always recall correctly, since it may have been 10 years since I've actually played the game through myself, though I have seen an LP. So, is this anything interesting? There's something strange about this bush. Maybe it's the eye, so forget it. It's probably just an ordinary, everyday bush with blood-red berries and tentacle-like branches. Well, we're gonna have to get those berries at some point, but this is not the bush we're going to or probably this is not the time we're gonna get those berries from the bush. But if you do sneak up on him, that bush has been known to attack adventurers, so we have to be cautious in how we approach it. So yes, so we're going to proceed through this video, pretty much just exploring the woods and see what comes up. Some of the things, like here, something would only appear at night. Whether we'd come back to this scene at night, I'm not sure. The only reason I would avoid it is because we're not really the character equipped to deal with the monster, the Wraith, I believe, which is a ghost that resides there, whereas the Paladin, or even the Fighter, would fare better in the combat against such a vicious foe. So, it's kind of like the Spielberg situation. This is most like Spielberg, most like Quest for Glory 1, where you don't have an overview map and things don't go on forever. You can actually... Oh, there's a monster, but since we are a thief, we're going to try to avoid that. You've come to a beautiful garden, deep within the forest. A stream flows gently in a loop around the central island. A feeling of peace and harmony permeates the area. And yes, so this is Arana's contribution, I believe, to this game, in addition to the garden in the city, in the town. You discover 30 crowns hidden there, except as a gift from Arana. Not sure if that's only for the thief. And yes, so this is pretty much Arana's Peace Part 3. I guess the only one that didn't have anything from Arana was 2, I believe. There was an oasis in the desert, but I don't think that Arana had anything to do with that. They kind of bring back Arana in the third one, where it said that pool of peace. And then, of course, she plays a more prominent role in this game, and in the 5th game as well. You pick a few of the beautiful flowers. The stream is wider and slower at this point. It almost looks like a small pond. The fruit tree is laden with luscious-looking fruits of many kinds. It must be one of the rare mixed fruit trees. Can we get any of these? As I recall from the first one, we could not. As you approach the tree, the fruit vanishes. Must be that low-calorie kind. Yes, very low-calorie that you cannot even eat the fruit. However, it doesn't budge. Alright, so no free gift there. I wonder if we can restore our stamina from the river here. Take a drink of the cool water. It tastes like wild strawberries. I'm not sure if that improved anything. I think our stats were already maxed out anyway, so we'll take... Well, our stamina did seem to be affected. So, I think it is sort of the stamina potion of the game. When Dr. Cranium tells us that there's no real potion, it's kind of like Quest for Glory 3, where you can drink the water and restore your stamina if it's those work the same way as Quest for Glory 3, but there are no stamina pills. I was going to say about this tree over here, you can't get the fruit unless you're, it's pretty much like the same thing in the first game, where if you're a magic user, you can cast, I believe, the fetch spell, and that will let you retrieve, and I believe it restores mana points. In fact, you can also come here at night and sleep. And then, well, what's over here? There seems to be a hole. Someone's dug a large hole here, perhaps removing a bush or a small tree. Yes, so there seems to be a tree missing, which will play some role later on. That's a dirty job that you don't particularly need to do at this moment. For anyone who's wondering, and I probably nobody was, but I'm not really doing a specific voice for the narrator, maybe just a deeper version of my voice, well, not only because, but just because I have to do, one of the reasons, I should say, is because I do so many voices in the game. Might as well just use a regular voice for narration purposes. Alright, so there's no way to go back there, so we've kind of landlocked. And so I'm just trying to give you a tour of things as we progress. Fortunately, it doesn't look like you can use the arrow keys in this this particular game, which is unfortunate. There's our buddy. Anything? Okay, flies free, never to be caught by the likes of thee. Fair enough. Okay, so I don't recall. I think he's like one of the things in the game that kind of just annoys you and think something is supposed to happen with him, but I don't think there's any real purpose, though he is less annoying than Cedric, for those of you who have played Quest for Glory 5, who was an annoying talking owl. So I am not just aimlessly wandering around. I am trying to find some of the key locations. Or actually, I think I was interrupting myself, but I think I was mentioning that was like Spielberg, and it is in the sense that Spielberg is... Oh, there's a bunny. Alright, so if I press S, supposedly it'll be a strategic battle now. Right? Right. Okay, so he's actually fighting for me, so I am not pressing anything, and hopefully we can best that vile little rabbit. Yeah, so I believe this is called a Vorpal bunny, or something of that nature. There's definitely nothing left in the little rabbit's fanny pack. Well, maybe a pocket watch, but you need one of those. Of course, a reference to Alice in Wonderland. So, yeah, they're pretty easy. I guess somebody mentioned that if you press S, it's strategic, so the game will fight it out almost like a turn-based RPG, and hopefully if you have enough, high enough stats, you'll be in good enough shape to take care of that. I think this might be the garden again. But it was... No, it's not. Okay, like I was saying, so it's like Spielberg. Most of the scenes are forest. Spielberg is a little more condensed. I think there was a little bit more to do in the actual forest, but the game itself, of course, wasn't quite as in-depth. It's also... Spielberg, I think, seemed a little more natural in where the barriers were for things going on. Or what the parameters were. It was either snowed in or a mountain, and you couldn't get or river or something, you couldn't get past it. Whereas here, it just kind of seems to be some rocks or trees that don't really seem to delineate how far you can go. So, obviously, for purpose of the game, they couldn't make it go on infinitely, except first, unless they want to have something like Quest for Glory 2. Okay. Well, here's a character. Why don't we introduce ourselves to this guy? You hear a giggle from behind the bush, then a squeaky voice asks, 1 and 1 and 1 make 3. Tell me what you make of me. Reading, writing, riddling game. Can you tell me what's my name? Rumpelstiltskin. No. Rozulka? No. How about the Bushman? No. Make a wild guess. Make the thief sign. Alright, well I know it's Leshy, and I believe if you read that book, or you may have to read the manual, you'll see it, of course, Rumpelstiltskin. You don't need that from the manual. That's just the character from the fable. Rozulka is a woman who drags you to your death. There is no Bushman. And then Leshy, however, is the character. You tell the creature it's called the Leshy. That's the price of too much fame, and now you've gone and guessed my name. He was fairly annoying, I recall, from this game when you had the voice version. Alright. Leshy, Leshy, look and see, in a bush or up a tree. There's a bird apparently living in. Leshy, Leshy, riddle rhyme, can you solve them every time? Well. So you guess his name, and I guess you don't get to talk to him. But let's go back and see if old Leshy will let us converse with him once again. Alright, so whichever one sort of wiggles, you know that's where Leshy lives. Ugh. You gotta play this little game, I guess, as Simon Says. That wasn't Simon Says. Was Simon? Was that the old electronic game, if you grew up in the 80s, where you had to press the colors in this right order as it flickered on that sort of plastic device? I never had one myself, but I have a few friends, I think, who had one. Yeah. Not that it's that hard. I mean, just follow that. Okay. 2 and 2 and 2 make 6. A little bush is in a fix. Okay, so that's telling us we need to find a bush that is been lost. And actually, those riddles are very oblique because there are a lot of. First of all, there are a lot of bushes in the game, and second of all, it doesn't really tell you what to do. So you have to go around finding a bush to solve Leshy's puzzle. And let's go try to make our way down there so we can see a few more things if we go there correctly. There is the only thing I can really think of. There's two things. There's a gypsy camp, which we can't really do much with right now, and there's a cemetery, and there's a Vorpal bunny. Well, I feel bold enough that I can beat this vile creature. I think I actually set on strategy in the the dialogue, pardon me, the menu box bar. Okay, yeah. So he's fighting. And these guys aren't too hard, though they are taking some of our stamina down. Alright, so that disgusting flea bag, as it says, does bother us. Is this a cemetery by any chance, or is that a Rana's deal again? No, that's nothing. Alright, so we'll make our way down to where the bush is that I believe is the bush that Leshy is speaking of, or is the bush that Leshy is speaking of which he is speaking, to be grammatically correct. Alright, so we'll make our way down. Alright, so this is the swamp again. You can actually do some things here. There is an infamous error if we go to the left, and I am hoping that the patches and everything I installed will prevent that from being a problem. But when I had the CD version, what a mess, and there was no patch for it at the time, so it prevented you from completing the game. So yeah, it just pretty much tells us this is a disgusting marsh where there's hands that will pretty much reach you down and kill you. You can, well, we'll figure out how we can get across. Different characters can get across in different ways, but there are some infinite portions. Alright, so I believe we have what it takes to handle this, and I might be incorrect, actually. Definitely don't want the flowers, though. That is not the way to deal with it. Okay, I do not have... I believe I need a rope in addition to the grappling hook, but we can try. Oh, I guess... Oh, the rope is on the grappling hook. The graphic is... I didn't recall. The icon just looks like a grapnel. Using grapple multiples, a lot of stones is tricky business. You need to keep practicing. So this is something we're just going to try. And why am I doing this? Well, you see this back here? That might be the bush Leshy is talking about. Alright, so we're gonna just keep doing that. Yeah, so like I said, I moved recently, and it's a pretty nice place. I've got a couple roommates, but the way the rooms are set up, I am pretty far away actually from them, and they're not around right now. So for anyone who was bothered by some of my earlier LPs where I was trying to keep my voice down, I was trying to keep my voice down because there are people very close to me in my previous living situation, aka living at home, who probably would not have appreciated hearing my voice commenting on video games from the 80s and 90s. However, the way things are situated now, that shouldn't be much of an issue. At some point, not that anyone cares, maybe I would create a small web video to show you my amazing new pad, which it's pretty nice. It's a pretty modern facility, but obviously not a priority. Obviously, the priority would be the Quest for Glory games and the LPs, because that's certainly far more interesting than anything going on in my life. Yeah, I guess one of the things as we keep doing this, hopefully we can get this complete at some point. For those of you who are curious as to why I came back, I sort of explained it, or partially explained why I came back. Not making any promises that they'll continue. This is going to be a very long LP, as I mentioned earlier, so we may not. So it may take us quite a while, be the equivalent of several LPs, but even even with that said, I don't guarantee that I'll continue on with other ones. I'd have to find some other interesting things to do. Though I do have some ideas. It's not entirely given that this will be the last one. I've said a number of times this will be if I'll rest a little bit, that this would be the last time, or that I plan on moving on. It's just that I guess beforehand I had intended to just continually LP, and that really, first I had the technical problems, then I actually had a job to do and didn't have the extraordinary amount of time I had when I was unemployed to keep making these. But the reason I came back was it's fun to do. Once I got back into the groove of working, I had a job at one point that was very stressful, that was very time consuming, and I was able to move on from that. I'm hoping this next job won't be like that. One of the really nice things is, even though it's a more senior position, the job is pretty close to where I live now. It's probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes away. So, assuming it's not too intensive of a position, I'm not 100% sure everything is going to require yet. Though there is more responsibility, it shouldn't be too taxing on me, and so hopefully I'll have adequate free time to definitely get through this one, and if other opportunities arise for LPs, to just keep going, and probably won't do them as quickly in succession as I did when I first did my first 3 or 4 LPs, but with maybe a month lag or something in between, that we would be able to continue this process, or probably continue creating the LPs. But I definitely enjoy it, and I really thought about getting into this. My initial rule was, if somebody else had done an LP of a video, particularly really a well-known one, at least in the orbit that I don't know if I say run, but the type of videos I watch a lot of the Hurt Crabbiness, as many of you know, and Late, and, well, it's getting late now. I do watch a lot of their videos, and while I really appreciate it and really think it was a great one, I figured why not. I really enjoy the game. I think a lot of people really enjoy it as well, like to see a different twist on it, and also that you'd have a lot of and you'd have the opportunity to see the thief side of things, and see some of the unique scenarios for the thief versus the paladin, that you already saw if you watched her Crabbiness and Late Plate's video, which I certainly recommend if you have not. Alright, well, this is taking quite a bit of time, and I think this video has gone on for a pretty good amount of time as well. So I do apologize if it was just seeing the woods and hearing me provide some insight into my own life, particularly if it wasn't that interesting. But I'm going to continue this off screen, and when we come back, we will be with a new video, and we will hopefully have the bush, and I will try to upload things a little more quickly than I have in the past when I didn't have too many videos in the queue. Anyway, I'll be back for myself in a few, and hopefully you'll get a new video up also in a relatively short amount of time. In any event, take care. This is Sierra Game Scott, signing off.